heat had never felt so unbearable. Fueled by climate change and shifting habitats, the wild boar population in New South Wales has exploded beyond control. Experts estimate that more than 8 million of these powerful, destructive animals now roam the region. Once confined to the mountain forests, the boars have invaded farmlands, tearing through crops and leaving chaos behind. Farmers say a single herd can wipe out an entire field in just one night, a nightmare that's become all too common. Determined to take back what was ours, we built a strategy rooted in patience, precision, and teamwork. Every move was planned down to the last detail. With our gear packed, engines roaring, and adrenaline running high, we rolled out of town and headed straight into the heart of the boar's territory, ready to face the wild on its own turf. Guided by sharp instincts and the incredible skill of our hunting dogs, we quickly locked onto our first target. The dogs moved with lightning precision, circling and cornering the boar before it could break away. In that split second of perfect alignment, I steadied my aim and squeezed the trigger. The shot landed clean, a flawless hit that sent a surge of pride through the entire team. That moment reignited our drive and set the tone for the hunt ahead. The landscape stretched endlessly before us, rugged and unforgiving, but we refused to slow down. Riding our Yamaha Viking across the open fields, we scanned the horizon for the slightest movement. Then, out of the distance, a dark figure appeared, unmistakably another boar. I adjusted the scope, gauged the distance, and fired. One shot, then another. Each bullet struck true. The targets dropped swiftly, and we advanced without hesitation, sweeping the area to ensure no survivors escaped into the wild. Moments later, gunfire cracked from multiple directions, echoing through the wilderness. Our coordination was flawless. Every shot, every movement, perfectly timed. Within minutes, the entire area was secured. Pushing deeper into the brush, we spotted another herd weaving quietly through the tall grass. I steadied my rifle, focused on the lead boar, and pulled the trigger. One by one, they went down. Every escape path was sealed. No matter how fast or cunning they were, they couldn't outmatch our precision or teamwork. Then came the next call, fresh sightings to the south. Without hesitation, Thomas sprang into action. Mounting his ATV, he tore through the rugged landscape, maneuvering with sharp control and instinct. As he closed the distance, the perfect shot lined up. He took it, and in an instant, the boar dropped where it stood. A clean hit, executed with absolute mastery. Amid the chaos, one boar managed to break through our perimeter, cutting hard to the left. Thomas radioed the alert, and without a second thought, I gunned the throttle and sped toward the coordinates, the engine roaring beneath me. This one was clever, darting through the brush, using every bit of cover to its advantage. Minutes felt like hours as I tracked its erratic movement. Then, finally, the opportunity came. I steadied my aim, held my breath, and squeezed the trigger. The gunshot cracked through the forest, a clean, perfect hit. As the sun dipped low and the forest began to quiet, we knew the hunt was reaching its final chapter. Then, out of the fading light, a dark silhouette flickered between the trees, the last target. I raised my rifle, took one steady breath, and fired. The single shot echoed through the still air. Sharp, clear, final. The hunt was over. With our mission complete, we loaded the gear and secured the day's hard-earned trophies onto the trucks. The drive back to the village was quiet but full of pride, not the kind born from conquest, but from purpose. We had done what needed to be done. Once again, the farmlands were safe, the crops protected, and a sense of peace settled over this wild, untamed land.
rang out the moment the target appeared. The BOAR